Justice for Ochanya. This case, at this point, has gotten out of hand. A movement aimed at administering justice for a young girl that died at the hands of her uncle and her cousin has now turned upside down into another part of the general gender war. Activists are being accused. Other cases just like Ochanya are coming out, and now it turns out the initial story we were told gets even deeper and darker.
In fact, sometimes when they won't sleep with my sister, they go give her sleeping pills. This girl go sleep. Before she go wake up in the morning, time don't go. From that sleeping pills where they give her, time don't go. And now she they wake up in the morning, make breakfast for the family. A 13-year-old girl, sometimes she go wake up late. My auntie go beat her joint.
So today I want us to really open this up once and for all and dig into what is really happening and the issues that have risen from this case. This is the definitive story of Ochanya. Chapter 1. Fertile Grounds. I need you to understand this. Justice for Ochanya would never happen if the environment wasn't conducive enough for it. This case is only out because our current climate as a society, both online and offline, enabled it. And every other problem that came with it is due to this environment that we've built. This is what I call fertile grounds. The current social media scape is extremely divisive and toxic, separating both men and women into different groups, something we've come to know as the gender wars. Look at it as Team Red versus Team Blue. Team Red are usually men, basically people who seek to maintain the patriarchal status quo, or people who think people on Team Blue are basically full of shit. Then there is Team Blue, people who fight for women and women's rights, feminists, asterisks, and basically anyone who thinks the people on Team Red are also full of shit. And these two groups have been fighting amongst each other on the internet for longer than I can remember. One group will make a video and then the other one will pick it up, reacting to it, saying that the other people are wrong for saying this and this is why the other people are bad, and then the other group will pick it up and basically do the same thing over and over and over again. Trust me, sometimes it can get extremely exhausting. And a lot of these creators have blocked each other on social media, creating the perfect echo chambers for them and their audiences. What one person will tell you is what basically their audience will believe. And their words, terms, phrases that you normally hear used on each side. Team Blue likes words like the patriarchy, misogyny or misogynoir. That's a different form of misogyny. It's like the sorted form of misogyny. Pick me, phrases like male-centeredness, stuff of that nature. And on Team Red, you hear words like ashawo, simp, and phrases like stingy and proud, stuff like that. Be wise as a man. Shout out to Brakans for real quick. These groups are constantly antagonizing each other and are constantly finding things to stand on to prove their own philosophies. The fringes and most radical parts of Team Red believes that women are bad or lost, and the same in Team Blue also believe that men, or specifically the patriarchy, is the worst thing to happen on earth. We have people on Team Blue that hold it down, like Dr. Zita Seshi and Lady Obidi. More on her later, she's a very important part of this narrative. And on Team Blue, you would find people like Gege or Aristine. These are people that are holding it down, at least within the West African and diaspora spaces. If I've left anybody out, please put them in the comments below.
We are going to talk about Tutu currency. Okay, there are two types of Tutu you should always be looking out for.
There is constant chaos amongst these two groups, and there is never a middle ground where they will meet and agree on anything. And this is by design, to keep things the way they are, to keep their audiences sheltered and chambered in. Is either you are for or against the emotion. And it's in this environment that the seed can begin to bud. And that seed was Ochanya and her tragic story. Chapter 2. The story of Ochanya. At first. This was what we initially heard about Ochanya. I say initially because a much more detailed version that reveals some of the most important reasons why she never got justice was shared later by her sister Fiuda, which you can go ahead to watch later in this video. I have left convenient chapters down there right above the subscribe and like buttons. If you want to interact with those two buttons, touch them and see nice things happen when you do that. Ochanya Obanja was just 6 years old when she was sent to live with her auntie Felicia Abuja in another state for a better education. It was here in her auntie's house where she was sexually abused, first by her cousin Victor Abuja, who raped her continuously for a long time, and later her uncle Mr. Andrew Abuja. They both continuously raped her for years until she fell ill with many complications, including VVF, vesicovaginal fistula. I am not going to show you what that looks like. Just Google it and look at the images. I am so sorry for the things you watch. Ochanya broke her silence and told her parents what she had been going through in her auntie's house. Unfortunately, she passed away from her complications. And what happened to the people that did this to her? Well, her cousin Victor vanished before the police could get to him. Her auntie Felicia got 6 years for negligence, but her uncle Andrew Abuja got nothing. He was acquitted. How? How can you jail the person who allowed the thing to happen, but not the person who ended up doing the thing itself? More on that later, trust me, it really gets deeper and darker and twisted. And this is what caused the uproar. And now everyone is angry. Not just people on Team Blue, hell, many people on Team Red were furious because this can be done to a child for so many years. And this is what reignited the call for justice. And before we knew it, hashtag Justice for Ochanya started trending everywhere. Hundreds of videos of people, some of them literally in tears, crying out for justice for this young girl. These people were not taking no for an answer. It wasn't long until this movement crossed borders from Nigeria into Ghana and the rest of the African diaspora. Everyone now knew the heartbreaking story of Ochanya and wanted justice for her. Just one important note. This one important thing I think you need to know. This case, what happened to Ochanya, happened in 2018.
What? What the fuck?
6 years ago. The latest update that happened with this case was in 2022 when the uncle was eventually acquitted. The only reason why people are talking about it today is because the 17th of October was the anniversary of her passing. That's why chapter 1 of this story is so important, because if not for the environment that we created, this 6-year-old case would never be resurrected. Needless to say, Ochanya deserved justice. So we pushed on. And it was at this point that I started to notice some very familiar patterns. Chapter 3. Everywhere go first blur. I started seeing people calling out celebrities and influencers that were not participating in hashtag Justice for Ochanya. People called out the church and pastors who were quiet. Pastor Nathaniel Bassey at that time was doing Hallelujah Challenge, and people found a way to rope him into it. Contrasting it with the time where he had the voice to talk about what happened to Charlie Kirk, but not talking about what happened to Ochanya.
When Charlie Kirk died, gospel musicians like Victoria Orenze and Nathaniel Bassey posted him, and they spoke about how devastated they was about his death. Can you people keep this same energy for justice for Ochanya?
It seemed to me at the time, and especially now, that in this fight, people had their own agendas. Some were using it to justify their hate for men. Others were using it to promote themselves shamelessly.
I want me to make my videos. Just anything you want to do, text me on IG. I'll text back. I'm not bougie at all. And justice for Ochanya. You guys, I saw that story. Justice for Ochanya. Justice for Ochanya. Fuck me.
One lady used this to attack VDM and other celebrities who were not talking about it. And boy, did he have a reply for her.
I don't want to see anybody tag VDM under my post. VDM have seen this post. VDM has seen what is going on online and has refused to talk about it. VDM is a misogynistic person, so I don't want anybody. If I don't tag any male celebrity under my post. Don't tag any celebrity. This celebrity.
So I'm a misogynist because a case is trending online and everybody is talking about it. Different influencers here and there, and Very Dark Man did not talk. That means I hate women. I am a misogynist. Just this year alone, 2025, only in the month of August, I fought 2 cases of 2 young children that were raped. One of them by a DSS officer, as you can see. But please, don't make it about me. Please, because I see you people doing this everywhere. Don't do it. Don't, please. Make it about the girl and get your justice.
And it was at this point that I predicted that a fallout was on its way. Chapter 4, The Fallout.
Ochanya is you, Ochanya is me, Ochanya is all of us. When I know they talk about Ochanya again, all of now don't run leave the Ochanya matter, so
2 weeks into justice for Ochanya, and the issue started to slowly die down. Less people were talking about it over time. Hell, more people started talking about Regina Daniels and her issue, which started slowly taking over. This is where some of the major chips started to fall, one after the other, starting with Lady Obidi. Remember her from before?
I want you to know that there is no moral man. There is no man that is moral in itself.
Right. She was one of the first people to publicly remove herself from this case, which was wild because she's one of the major fighters. She made the calls to the right people, held protests, made sure that people knew about this case. She was vigorous in her attempt to make sure that Ochanya got justice. And I can say that she's one of the people, if not the main person, who got this case eventually reopened. So shout out to Obidi. So why did she leave? Well, there was an issue. Lady Obidi had created a GoFundMe account to collect funds for the case. According to her, Ochanya's older siblings gave her the permission, but the major stakeholders and elders did not like the fact that an outsider, especially one they didn't really know, was handling affairs of money. And also, what made this part of the whole issue even worse was that Obidi isn't really that popular, especially amongst men. You see, she's what I would call a social justice feminist, and if you've watched my video on feminism, you know exactly what that is. She fights for women, don't get me wrong, she fights for women, but with a little hint of I hate men, and she's not shy to tell you about how she feels about men.
Them know they defend man. If you defend man, you end up being the embarrassed one.
So a lot of men already didn't like her and started calling her a thief, trying to use this case to cash out, which I don't personally believe was the case. These people also made sure that she lost her account on TikTok as well. She created a new one and officially removed herself from this case.
I have transferred access to the Ochanya family. I'll repeat that again. I have transferred access to the Ochanya family. Do not tell me that I stole your money, please. I have handed all back-end access and control of the GoFundMe and related accounts to the Ochanya family. The GoFundMe has disabled the link and placed the account under review. All funds raised less than 3,000 out of the 50,000 goal. It was 50,000 we wanted to raise and we're able to raise 3,000. Because your bad belly grew you. You were so hateful. You didn't even let us get to 10% of the goal. It will be refunded back to the donors. And if you donated to the GoFundMe account, I want to say, please, your money will be refunded back to you. The account has been placed under review because of multiple reports. And I'm surprised that the Ochanya's family did not come to even tag me to say, please disregard what people are saying. Obidi is actively involved in this case. You guys allowed yourself to be tagged and not say anything. I was surprised that when I'm on your live, you are entertaining the people that shouldn't be there. It is bloggers and people who waste your time without action. And I've seen what this case is and I want to pull out of it. Number 7, stepping down from further involvement. Given recent misunderstandings and the fact that the matter has reached higher authorities, including the Inspector General of Police and the AIG's office, and now Natasha Akpoti, I am officially stepping down from any direct or indirect role in coordinating this case or being part of this case.
Frankly and personally, I think she's partly to blame for this. For one, it's a lack of self-awareness. Obidi, men don't like you. Most people don't like you. And this can be used against people, especially those who are not online, to understand nuance. Another thing, Advocacy 101. Deal directly with the elders and stakeholders in every case, not the minor characters like a brother or a sister. Let the elders know who you are, let them see you, and let them acknowledge your intent. It would help you avoid all of these cases and all of this wahala moving forward in most other advocacy programs that you engage yourself in. But just like Obidi, a lot of people behind this movement were operating outside of the main family that this thing concerned. So I can't say I'm really surprised. Then there was the infamous clip of Ochanya's sister, Fiona, that sent things to a whole other level. The straw that broke the camel's back.
Saying it, people should stop dragging the man. The person that killed my sister is Felicia Oguja.
Yes, but the man was the one that for that one.
Why did she
Justice may be delayed, but
This is what sent people off. Team Blue was out for this one, and they started accusing Fiona of trying to protect the uncle. And I kind of understand them, because the auntie didn't abuse Ochanya. The uncle and the cousin did. Why blame her? However, I was also very curious about this, but people didn't want to hear her out and they saw it as a defense tactic. However, one person was curious about all of this, and that person was Riley, or everyone hates Riley. So think of Riley as the type of person that Team Blue would absolutely hate because he makes videos about them all the time. Riley reaches out to Fiona to get her side of things, asking what really happened and why she continuously blames her auntie. And after hearing what she had to say, Riley told us that it was a bombshell.
I just talked to Ochanya's sister, right? I spoke to her sister and she told me everything from the starting up until this point, how everything started. And what I need you to know is that whatever you think you know about Ochanya's case, about Ochanya's story, you are wrong. It is way worse and way darker than you can ever possibly imagine.
An over 40-minute conversation that she had with her, and she revealed things about the story that we didn't initially know. And after hearing it, I can officially conclude that this is the definitive story of Ochanya. Chapter 5: The Deeper Truth. Riley's full conversation with Fiona is on his Telegram page, linked below. However, this will be a theatrical retelling of it. According to Fiona, Auntie Felicia is the sole reason why there was no justice for Ochanya. When she initially found out that Victor was abusing Ochanya, she kept the matter on the hush-hush and let him off with a warning. And Ochanya was not just a guest in their home, she was basically their house help. So apart from being abused by her paternal relatives, she was also carrying the domestic payload of the house, a house that was fully filled with capable humans.
That my uncle children will come, they tell me, say, see my sister, they suffer for that my auntie place, so that they used to stress the girl. That is the girl that used to cook. She's the one that used to wash their clothes. She's the one that used to fetch water and everything, that all the house chores is my sister that is always doing it. Meanwhile, this my auntie, she get 2 children way old past my sister, and she get one pikin wey be say be the same age with my sister, like they be 13 years together that time. Do you understand?
And as a child, she could not open up about any of these things. At this point, Ochanya could barely walk and didn't know why. So they encouraged Ochanya to speak up about all the things that were going on, if anything was being done to her in the house that she had not told her parents. This part was a new revelation to all of us.
Make I hear wetin my sister talk. My mom was crying that make I hear wetin my sister talk. Say my sister say my aunt's husband and the son, that they have been sleeping with her for long. They've been using her and all of that. In fact, sometimes when they won't sleep with my sister, they go give her sleeping pills. This girl go sleep. She say sometimes before she go wake up in the morning, time don't go. From that sleeping pills where they give her, time don't go. And now she they wake up in the morning, make breakfast for the family. A 13-year-old girl. Now she go wake up, cook breakfast for the family, even the ones wey old pass her. Now sometimes she go wake up late, my auntie go beat her join.
They later confronted the auntie, who denied her husband's involvement immediately, saying this thing only happened once with Victor, as if that made the issue even better. And it was at this point that the auntie started protecting the husband. And this is where we started to realize the full extent of the reach that the auntie had, using her political affiliations to get people on her husband's side.
You see my auntie and her siblings, now political talks them be for my place. They get backing. They have backings of politicians, top politicians. In fact, they used Senator Abamoro to threaten us that time. That time we will carry the case enter court. my auntie can't go meet Abamoro. That first time we first arrest the man, my auntie go meet the politician, go tell and say, may see wetin dey happen. Now the man go bail the man. You no reach 3 days where they arrest this man. 3 days, abi 2 days. You no even reach 2 days. The man don't make call. They don't release this man. That time my sister see they alive. Oh.
But before the case could even go anywhere, Ochanya had passed. And if you listen to Fiona, if what she's saying is to be believed, her auntie is truly the reason why Ochanya died and never saw justice. Chapter 6. Everyone is lying. Riley's videos are still available to watch as at the time of this recording. Link is still in the description. And even with Fioda's explanation, the people who initially held this movement don't want to mind her. Some have refused to listen to her explanation outright. Some, including Obidi herself, have resorted into name calling.
So apparently she's not even a pygmisha, she's a uproot me from ground. Uproot me from ground, because what are you doing on a man's page? Did men ever campaign for justice for Ochanya? They were the main people who rebuted this effort, who were the antagonists of this effort.
But why though? Why would you think Fioda is trying to protect the uncle? I thought we all wanted justice for Ochanya. So if Fioda, one of the people who were closest to her during her last days, is saying that this is the person to be blamed, why fight her? Or is it because you had an agenda all along? Because that's what is making more and more sense to me right now. It seems to me that the reason why a lot of you joined this movement was because it had 2 things that it could do for you. Number 1, get justice for a female victim, whilst burying a man for the things you've always been accusing men of all this while. But now that it's looking like the man didn't act alone, you all are finding ways to justify your removal from this issue. At least that's what it seems to me. Nothing else makes sense. Because your anger towards Fioda makes no sense to me. A criminal is as guilty as their enablers, and if what Fioda is saying is true, Auntie Felicia is a major enabler. Hell, I think she even assisted her son to escape, because why not? If she was willing to cover up the fact that he molested an 8-year-old child left in her custody, helping him to evade justice isn't far-fetched. And trust me, there are many women like this that are protecting men who have abused women. And if you want Ochanya to find peace in the afterlife like you claim you do, you have to accept that another woman is very likely and directly responsible for what happened to her. Anyway, thanks for watching the video. Liked it if you liked it. Subscribe if you liked some of these deep dives and definitive stories. And if you are one of those people who still don't want justice for Ochanya,
on your way